Hello.
Hello.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. So good to be back on another beautiful sunny evening where we get to spend some time with you. And we're going to start off with our How Are You song.
This is my How Are You song. This is my How Do You Do song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I Miss You song. This is my High Five to You song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Turt and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here.
One more time.
This is my How Are You song. This is my How Do You Do song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I Miss You song. This is my High Five to You song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Turt and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here. Yes, I'm so glad we are here.
Welcome to a wonderful, beautiful Wednesday evening, and I'm so glad to be spending it with you all. Here we are. So I see Wendy's joined us. Kathy Schumann is here with us. My mom, Kathy, is here. The Redigers are here. Yay! So fun. I'm glad to hear that one of the Redigers had an amazing day. I don't know which Rediger it is. Maybe it's Sienna, but it's great to have you. Hello, everyone. All right, so glad to have you here. We have a lot of fun things to be talking about today. Ava, what are the 3 things we're going to be talking about today? Do you remember?
Forgiveness, saying sorry, and losing your temper.
Yes, maybe not in that order. Losing your temper, saying you're sorry, and forgiving. Because I figure we're at that part in our sheltering in place where we've been around each other for a really long time, and it's really easy to just get on each other's nerves. And then we have to say, I'm sorry. I freaked out. Will you forgive me?
Yes.
Yay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And like we do normally, I want to know what's outside your window.
Yeah.
And the sun finally came out. It was very cloudy for part of the day. So with the sun up, let's go check out what's outside of our windows tonight. We have a few minutes. You go, I'll go, and we will come back and discuss. All right, ladies, what do you see with our big door open? The sun coming through.
I see sun.
Yes, right, sun.
I feel it.
I see people walking by. All right.
I see a rhubarb.
Oh, yeah, we have our rhubarb growing. That'll be fun to try with.
I see a moon.
And one other thing. All right. So let's see. Grandma Kathy, my mom says she sees green grass. Put a part hangout. That's cool. One thing is today, our mail person came back to deliver our mail pretty late. So right before Kids Connection or Family Connection, we got this fun package in the mail. And it was from Grandma Kathy Anderson.
Yes.
And it was so fun to get a package like that. And it just reminded me of how we have our pen pals and how fun it is to get letters from everyone. Grandparents, pen pals, grandmas and grandpas. So keep up the good work because it's so much fun getting letters. So I had to plug that again. So other things that people are seeing outside is squirrels and big robins. I've noticed a lot of beautiful birds outside. Wendy sees boats and hammocks and trees and her trampoline. The Redigers see wood and chairs, work equipment and rocks. Victoria Anderson sees buildings. Is that my sister, Caitlin Victoria Anderson? I think it is. All right, so we're kind of changing things up a little bit. Instead of going to Turd and Bit first, I want you all to grab your Bibles, and we're going to do Find It. Now, one of the first comments that I made before we actually started our video tonight was, who remembers how many Gospels are in the New Testament? And if y'all can remember any of the names of the Gospels. So first, who can figure out how many Gospels are in the New Testament? Because we've gone to a few Gospels for stories before. Ava has an answer, but I'm going to give some other people a chance. Okay, I see Kayla. Kayla says 4. Is that what you were thinking too, Ava?
Yeah.
Yeah? You are correct. There are 4 Gospels. Yep, the Esterlys say 4. Wendy says 4. Redigers say 4. Okay.
4.
We're in a consensus. There are 4. And Kayla indicated the names of them, which is perfect. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I think we've gone to Matthew before, but we're going back to Matthew tonight to learn a story about forgiveness. Now, this story was told, it was a story that Jesus told. He was talking to one of his disciples, Peter. Now, if you can get to the book of Matthew and go to chapter 18.
Not 81.
Not 81. It
18.
looks like, yeah, I think it shows right on their side.
Oh.
So go to chapter 18, and then we are going to be reading verses 21 through 35. So read along with me as I kind of paraphrase this. So this was a story that Jesus told to Peter because Peter asked him a question. Peter said, "How many times should I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times?" I think he just threw out a random number. And Jesus said, "No, not just 7, 77, 107, 777. He didn't quite say that, but Jesus said, there's no limit to how much you should forgive others. And then he had this story that a servant went to his master, and he owed his master a lot of money and could not repay him. He could not afford to give the money he owed to his master. And so the servant fell on his knees before the master and begged for forgiveness. He said, "Be patient with me. I will pay you back. Please, just give me time." And you know what? The master didn't just say, "Oh, okay, I'll give you all the time you need." He said, "All of the debts, everything you owe me is canceled. I forgive you. You don't have to give me any money." How amazing was that for that servant to hear it?
Probably
So
nice.
the servant was like, "Heck yeah, I don't have to give that money back. How wonderful. That's such a blessing." And then when he went out, another fellow servant came up to him and said, "You know what? I can't give you the money that I owe you, that I had borrowed from you." And the servant, who had just gotten forgiven by the master, grabbed the other servant and was like, "You better pay up or I'm going to get you thrown in jail." Ah! Yeah. And the other servant fell to his knees and said, "Please be patient with me. I will pay you back. Just give me time." And the first servant refused and instead went off and had the man thrown in jail, in prison, until he could pay off the debt. And I don't know how you make money when you're in prison, so it doesn't really make sense.
You work for the prison.
Yeah, but you don't get paid. Anyway,
Like
bad idea. And then when the master heard what had happened, he said, "I canceled all of your debt. And you, instead of being forgiving of others when they also owe you, you got angry and put them in jail instead." It's very important to forgive, because that is how your Heavenly Father wants you to treat all the people in your life. To forgive your brothers and sisters from your very heart. So that's the story of the servant who was forgiven. And I would like you all to spend a few minutes talking together with your family about what you thought was most interesting about that story. Ava and Amelia are going to get things set up for Turt and Bit. You guys have a little talk time and then send some comments about what you found most interesting about that Bible story. And I'll just play a little guitar music while you talk amongst yourselves. And then we'll move on to our Turt and Bit. All right. I'm sure you had a few minutes to talk over that story. Let's see. Wendy said she thought it was interesting how the master forgave, and then the servant did not forgive. Yes, that is a very good point. The master was being gracious, and and then the other guy wasn't. That's a very interesting character dynamic there. My mom, Kathy, said the master didn't just say, "I forgive you." He took all the debt away. Yeah, exactly. He erased all the concern that servant had was taken away because the master took all the debt and said, "Don't worry about it." That was an amazing thing. Another gracious thing that someone would give a lot for. Yep. All right. We are going to continue talking about losing our temper and saying we're sorry and asking for forgiveness. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Turt and Bit. They're hanging out together outside. Let's see what they're up to. Quinn says how would he get money when he was in jail? That was a point I also thought was interesting. All right. Okay, here we go. Hey, Billy and Turt. Okay. Turt, guess what?
What's up, Billy?
Oh, I just got this new soccer ball, and I thought it would be great if we went to the backyard and kicked it around together. We could even invite Bit, too.
Well, that sounds really fun, Billy, but, Bit scheduled a few things for us to do today, and you know how she gets with her schedules and everything.
Yeah, you're right. She does like her schedules and keeping on schedule, but I bet she'd be super excited about the soccer thing too, don't you think?
Well, yeah, let's go tell her about the change of plans and see what she thinks. Oh, hi, Bit.
Hi, Turt. Hi, Billy. I was just looking over my schedule today, and I am so excited for our tea party this afternoon.
Yeah, about that afternoon schedule.
I have some tea cakes and a few books that we can read and our favorite tea to drink. Bit, we had a great idea. Instead of a tea party, we're going to play soccer. Great, huh? Great, huh? No, that's not okay. That's not on my schedule. And I want a tea party and it's already planned. And I refuse to change my schedule for a silly thing like playing soccer. No!
See, Billy, she's a little touchy about her schedule. Let's give her a few minutes to cool off.
Well, what's wrong with changing plans? Bit really lost her temper over something that seemed kind of unimportant.
Well, it may seem unimportant to us, but not to Bit. I agree, she did lose her temper, but we should try to be gracious.
Be gracious?
Well, we should understand that everyone is different, and everyone feels differently about things. Instead of arguing with Bit and getting more frustrated and upset, giving her some space may help Bit calm down and see things more clearly.
Billy, Turt,
can I talk to you for a minute? Sure, Bit, sure. I'm sorry I freaked out back there. I got so caught up in my schedule, I wasn't really thinking clearly. Well, we all lose our tempers sometimes, Bit. We forgive you. Yeah, we forgive you, yeah. After I calmed down, I thought about your soccer idea, and how about we play soccer together, and then we'll have a tea party afterwards. Hey, that's a great idea. That's great. Yeah, I think that's just right. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you, Turt and Bit and Billy. Boy, Bit really freaked out. I've never seen her freak out like that before. But, you know, some people are all about their schedules, and it took her a minute to calm down, but she did say she was sorry, and Billy and Turt were very forgiving of her and her attitude. Yep. Oh, I see the Lashes have joined us. Hello, Paul. Hi, Piper. All right. So, it's not always easy to ask for forgiveness, even when you know you did something wrong. And so I started thinking about there are different ways of asking for forgiveness instead of just being like, hey, I'm sorry. Like sometimes it's hard for people to go face to face with someone. So we have our shopping cart of fun. And this week, our shopping cart of fun has different ways that you can say you're sorry. All right. Oh, Amelia's got it this time. Let's move out of the way. So first of all, let's everyone can see it. I like to pick it up so we can be like, it's our shopping cart of fun. And then we'll set it down. We have quite a few things in here. The first thing is, if you have a hard time saying you're sorry to someone in person, you can always write them a letter. Even if they live in your house, you can write them a letter and slide it under the door. And you could say, I'm sorry. Because sometimes it's easier to write out your feelings, and then once the person has read your letter, then you guys can talk about it a little bit more comfortably, right? Hold on a minute. We'll put them in a minute. Another way is, this is especially helpful now, is if we're not all together or we're apart and something happens, we can always use our super cool, we can always use a phone and make calls and say, hey, you know, I was overwhelmed and I reacted poorly and I really would like to ask you for forgiveness. Can you please forgive me? I thought I'd call and talk to you about it since we're not together right now. This is our old-fashioned phone. It's called a rotary phone, I believe, and it's fancy. And it doesn't actually work, but I thought it'd be cool to have it tonight for our demonstration. We could also, hold on, before we do those, guys, we can also, if we're feeling up to it, is we can write an I'm sorry song. This is my I'm sorry song, and I want to try to get back along. I don't know. See? You can come up with your own song to say you're sorry to someone. And then now, Amelia, sorry, I put it off until the end. Even if you don't have the words or the music, if you give each other high fives and say I'm sorry, or hugs, as long as, you know, we're all in the family and we're not COVID things, but you can always embrace each other and say you're sorry that way as well.
With Mario and a bunny.
We have Mario Cat and we have Blue Bunny. They're showing us how you can hug to say you're sorry and to show forgiveness. Very sweet. All right. So that was our shopping cart of fun. Different ideas to show someone that you are sorry if you have trouble speaking it in person to that person. So we next have some drawing and writing prompts to show everyone. This week's prompt had to do with our theme of losing our temper, asking for forgiveness, and forgiving others. So the drawing prompt that I came up with was the one that you saw in Monday's video about a kid and her mom, and kid does not want to clean her room and she's freaking out, and her mom gives her a minute to calm down and she says she's sorry. All right. Then we have one that was sent in by Clara, which I like a lot. It has to do with laundry, which is also an issue. But looks like someone is asking a girl to do the laundry, And the girl's saying, I don't want to. But then she says, fine. And she gets her laundry basket. She goes down the stairs. And oh, she slips and hurts herself. And she says, oh, I hate this. And then she says, don't say that. And she said, why? Because I don't want you to say hate. Please don't be mad. Oh, I don't hate you, she's saying. Will you forgive me? I forgive you. Such cute drawings. I love these little characters that Clara drew. Super cute. All right. Then we have Amelia's. She and I worked on this today. She drew the pictures and colored it in. But this little dog over here, this little hamster says, I want to go to the park.
No,
You make me so mad.
no,
Because
she's-
this little
no,
dog
she-
says, I don't want to go to the park. Then the little dog says, nuts. Hamster lost her temper and made me feel bad. And then a little bit later, Hamster says, I'm sorry I lost my temper, doggy dog. And then Doggy says, I forgive you. Let's go play. Very cute drawings there. And then we have Ava's. Hold on, babe. Well, that's another picture that Amelia drew. Next, we have Ava's comic strip.
It's Mario.
It's Mario. So
Oh, yes.
hold on. So we have Yoshi over here, and he's putting a lot of sauce on this pizza. And there's so much sauce on the pizza that Mario goes, oh, mamma mia, Yoshi! He yells, and he gets, oh, you blabbity blabbity blab, you ruined my pizza. And then he storms off, fuming. But then he realizes he feels bad, and he says, Yoshi, I'm sorry. And then Yoshi says, I forgive you, Mario. Resolution. Very nice.
It's about pizza.
Hey, you know what? I'm very picky about my pizza too. But okay, that's too loud. But I want to thank everyone who sent in their submissions. I love showing all of your artwork, so keep going. Even if you don't have the drawing prompt, but you created something amazing, please send me a picture so I can show it off to everyone in our live stream event. And I think it's about time that we get up and move, because I feel like we've been sitting too long. Ladies, can you help me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this out of the way. All right. We're gonna sing our Get Up and Move song, and then we're gonna move into the song, Our God is an Awesome God.
Oh my God.
No, that's a different one. It's time to get up out of your chair and move your body. Bring your arms up in the air like you don't care. Then you bend down low and touch your toes. Come on, everybody. Come on and move your body. Now we'll do some frog hops. Hippity, 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 hippity hop. Then we'll bring our knees up high and march now. Then we'll turn in a circle. Now come on, everybody. Come on and move your body. All right, now we're gonna do, don't get too dizzy. Our God is an awesome mighty reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. One more time. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Now here's an oldie, and I didn't include this in our email, but if you remember when we did our God Loves Science unit, we created some songs, and one of them was about if life is sour or bittersweet,
turn to God, and He will answer your prayers. Something like that. So I'm going to sing that song so we can bring it into our repertoire. When life is sour and bittersweet, turn to God, and He will answer when you pray, and He will give you a lemonade day. When life is sour or bittersweet, turn to God, and He will answer when you pray, and He will give you a lemonade day. I felt like that song kind of fit in with, losing your temper or feeling like your day isn't going as well as you want it to. You can always remember that you can pray and God will turn your lemons into lemonade. All right. How's everyone doing out there? I really have been enjoying.
Talking.
That's okay. They're just so enjoying the music and dancing. You can't text and dance at the same time. Great dance moves indeed. Awesome.
Thank you.
So, this week, just think about, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your sisters or brothers, your moms and dads, hold on, babe, and you feel overwhelmed, like you're about to lose your temper, the best thing I think that you can do is take a break. Go to a different room, take 3 deep breaths, maybe listen to some quiet music, because that often will help our tempers go down. And then we can think more clearly, and we can think about our actions, and then we can go back out into our house feeling better and being able to interact with each other so that we're not getting into fights or shoving each other or arguing about things that aren't important. So always remember that if you're feeling overwhelmed. So thank you for asking about the Zoom meeting. There is actually not a kids Zoom meeting tomorrow. That will be next week. But tomorrow, the women of the church are invited to join in on a women's connection is what it's called. And we're going to Zoom and see each other. And it's my dad sending messages, dinging. So yes, tomorrow, no kids Zoom meeting. Next week, yes, kids Zoom meeting. And it'll be important next week to join us because we are going to be making Mother's Day presents for Mom.
Yay!
So you need to come to the Zoom meeting next week so that we can work on presents together. And tomorrow, it's actually our women's get-together. So your moms are going to lock themselves into a room, and they're going to talk to each other about how they've been handling sheltering in place and everything that goes along with it. I'm going to set you down here. So with that, hold on, babe. I've had a wonderful time talking about all sorts of ways that we can work on listening to each other, controlling our tempers, asking for forgiveness, saying we're sorry, giving forgiveness. So I'm going to end our time with a word of prayer, and then we are going to sing our... Oh, Amelia wants to show everyone something. Before I do my word of prayer, Amelia wants to show us something. Okay, Wendy, I've been mulling around whether or not we should do one Zoom meeting every week. So this week we're going to keep it as planned. We won't do anything with the kids, but starting next week we'll talk about maybe making our Zoom times once a week because they are very fun. But for this week, we're just going to keep it as is. Women are going to get together tomorrow. Kids, we're going to get together next week. All right, so Amelia, this is going to be a quick thing that you're going to show everyone, right? So Amelia loves animals, and she's got this Barbie animal set that has all sorts of fun little gadgets to go with her cute puppies. Very fun. She's been playing with it all day. All right, so I'm going to slide this out of the way, and we're going to say our word of prayer together, and then we're going to sing our goodbye song. So, if you can close your eyes and we'll listen carefully. Dear Lord, thank you that we can have our time together on Wednesdays and we can text each other and share different things that we have going on. And thank you that we have Zoom video conferencing that we can use to see each other and be together in that way. Help us as we continue on during these different times of sheltering in place. Help us to remember to take time to take a break if we're feeling overwhelmed, and if we do lose our tempers, to know that we need to ask for forgiveness, and it's always good to forgive others when they say they are sorry. And thank you that we can all be together, and I pray that you will keep all of us healthy and happy as we go into this next week. And all God's children said,
Amen.
All right, so we're going to sing our With You song. I don't know if there's any girls. I think the girls are all chilling out. But I'll sing with all of you. And you can sing with me. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. One more time. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. All right. I love each and every one of you, and I miss you all, and so does Gigi, and so does Amelia, and so does Ava. Thank you for all your encouragement and all your smiles and all your love. I look forward to seeing the ladies tomorrow, and I look forward to hearing from all of you over the next week. I love you all. Peace.
Bye.